The world is buzzing with rumors about something big happening in Israel, the construction of the third temple. This event was prophesied in the book of Amos, suggesting a divine plan to bring the people of Israel back to their homeland after a long exile. But could this temple also bring about something darker? Are we on the brink of monumental change, or could it lead to turmoil? The implications are huge, with preparations underway and evidence mounting, from sacred vessels being crafted to priests being trained. So let's dive into this video today to understand the significance of these events and what they could mean for our world. Join us as we explore the secrets behind the construction of the third temple and its possible implications for the future. The idea of the third temple has a long history dating back to ancient times. The first temple, built by King Solomon, was a crucial part of Jewish worship and identity. But it was destroyed centuries ago, causing great sadness for the Jewish people. However, this event also planted the seed for rebuilding, a concept that continues today with the idea of the third temple. The first temple, Solomon's temple, was built in Jerusalem around the 10th to 6th centuries BCE. It was more than just a place for religious ceremonies. It symbolized unity for the Israelites, representing their faith and community. The temple's destruction in 587 BC by Nebuchadnezzar I of the Neo-Babylonian Empire was significant in Jewish history. The Jewish community deeply felt and mourned the loss of Solomon's temple. But it also sparked the desire to rebuild a theme that persists to this day with the idea of constructing the third temple, the significance of the third temple. Surprisingly, this third temple construction isn't just about buildings. It's about bringing back the spiritual and community center in Jerusalem. This site holds thousands of years of faith and history. Let's see how recent events and prophecies tie into this ancient story today. Some people believe that recent events like the Euphrates River drying and the Pool of Siloam reopening are signs of significant change. They see these signs as possibly leading to the rebuilding of the third temple. It's not just about building something new. It's fulfilling a prophecy written in sacred texts for many. For the Jewish community, the third temple means more than reconstructing history. It's seen as a spiritual revival, bringing back ancient rituals and traditions. This temple is at the core of their faith, where it all began. The location for the third temple isn't chosen randomly. It's believed to be where important biblical events happened, like Abraham's test of faith and Solomon's original building of a temple for the divine. The destruction of the first temple and the Babylonian captivity weren't just old stories. They were moments that changed the Jewish faith forever. They shifted beliefs from worshiping many gods to believing in just one. Imagine the center of Jewish worship was destroyed, yet the people emerged stronger, believing even more in one God. This transformation is deeply connected to ancient prophecies, making these events not just history, but something divine. Second temple now, let's talk about the second temple. It wasn't just about rebuilding. It symbolized starting anew and bouncing back. Interestingly, it was built in the same spot as the first temple. This rebuilding effort was supported by Cyrus the Great of Persia, who allowed the Jewish people to return from exile. This marked a significant moment, a return to their homeland Zion. The second temple, initially small, was built by returning exiles under Zerubbabel, a leader with royal lineage from the last kings of Judah. However, history repeated itself tragically. In 70 CE, the Romans, led by General Titus, attacked Jerusalem. The city fell, and the second temple was destroyed by fire. This event, foretold by biblical prophets, mirrored the fate of the first temple, showing a cycle of destruction and renewal in Jewish history. Let's not forget the biblical context surrounding these events. Passages like Jeremiah 25:11 predicted the 70 years of Babylonian captivity. directly leading to the Second Temple's construction. It says this whole country will become a desolate wasteland, and these nations will serve the king of Babylon for 70 years. Similarly, the book of Daniel, especially Daniel 9:26, talks about the anointed one being put to death, signaling a significant change. The quote, "The people of the ruler who will come will destroy the city and the sanctuary," often gets linked to significant events in Jewish history, like the coming of the Messiah and the destruction of Jerusalem and the Second Temple. Some say the anointed one being put to death refers to the Messiah, while others think it talks about important figures in Jewish history, a prophetic timeline. The 62 sevens mentioned is part of a bigger prophetic timeline described in the chapter involving 70 weeks or years, totaling 490 years. Scholars and theologians have interpreted this in various ways, adding depth to these ancient prophecies. These aren't just stories about old buildings. They're narratives filled with faith, prophecy, and the unwavering spirit of a people. They hold deep meaning for those studying them, offering insights into the past and future. The site where the Second Temple once stood in Jerusalem has held centuries of religious significance. The Temple Mount, also known as the Noble Sanctuary in Islam, is home to the Dome of the Rock, a famous Muslim shrine built in the 7th century. It is a testament to the religious transformations that have taken place over time. This site, deeply embedded in history, holds immense significance for both Jews and Muslims. It stands as a crucial point where faith and history intertwine. The Second Temple's destruction triggered a series of religious and political changes. Each left its mark over time, from Byzantine to Muslim to Crusader rulers. Despite the shifts in rulership, the desire for the Third Temple endured among Jews. It's not just about physical structures. It embodies the core of Jewish eschatology. The Third Temple represents the hope for a messianic era, a fundamental belief in Orthodox Judaism. Interpretations, however, vary among Jewish sects. Some see it as a divine sign indicating the Messiah's arrival, while others anticipate the Messiah constructing it himself. Contrastingly, Christian perspectives shift the narrative. Christians view the Messiah's arrival in the form of Jesus Christ as a fulfilled prophecy. His second coming is believed to be a world-altering event, fulfilling a different set of prophecies. These distinct views reflect the diversity of interpretations across religious traditions. These differences go beyond theological discussions. They become real-world points of contention. This influences not just religious perspectives, but also politics, societal dynamics, and access to one of the most sacred sites on earth. Amidst these differences, some Jewish activists are challenging the status quo, advocating for equal prayer rights at the contested site. Their push echoes broader demands for religious freedom. This is more than a dispute over land. It's a battle over identity, belief, and history. Biblical prophecies add layers to this complex situation. Passages like Ezekiel 40:48 provide detailed descriptions of a future temple, fueling anticipation for its realization. These prophecies contribute to the intensity of the situation. In the New Testament, references to the temple's significance, such as in Matthew 24:1-2, where Jesus mentions the temple's destruction, underscore its profound impact. The potent symbol of the temple's destruction is lasting effects on religious beliefs and practices. The narrative around the Third Temple remains a unique blend of ancient prophecy, religious passion, and modern political activism. This combination highlights the lasting influence of faith in shaping our world. For many in the Jewish community, the Third Temple serves as a beacon of hope, deeply rooted in biblical prophecies. Books like Ezekiel and Isaiah vividly portray its significance as a physical structure and a divine promise. It represents the return of the Messiah, a concept that sparks a vision of spiritual renewal. and the dawn of a new era, the Messianic age. Historical significance of temples historically. The first and second temples were more than mere buildings. They were the heart of Jewish life. These structures intertwined religion, culture, and governance, playing a central role in the Jewish community. The longing for the third temple becomes a call to revisit and revive this golden age, a way to reconnect with a storied past. In the essence of Jewish identity, the desire for the third temple goes beyond the physical. It's about reestablishing a direct connection to the divine. It represents a sacred space where heaven and earth meet, offering a profound and spiritual dimension to the aspirations of the Jewish community. Envisioning the significance of a place like the third temple in today's world is profound. For advocates of this cause, like Rabbi Chaim Richmond of the Temple Institute, it goes beyond physical structures. It's about reaching a higher spiritual plane where the presence of the divine, the Shekinah, becomes tangible. According to Rabbi Richmond, there's a deep connection between the need for a new level of spiritual attainment and the temple's rebuilding. And in his view, the Shekinah can only be brought about through the temple. He believes that in terms of their mission as a people, reaching a higher spiritual status is intricately tied to the presence of the temple. The Temple Institute in Jerusalem plays a central role in this movement. They are meticulously preparing ritual vessels, training priests, and laying the groundwork for what could be a monumental chapter in Jewish history. Every crafted item intended for use in the third temple becomes a testament to their dedication and unwavering faith. Consider the biblical passages that echo this deep longing in Ezekiel 40:48. The detailed design of the temple serves as a blueprint for a physical building and a brighter future. Isaiah 2:4 envisions the last days when the Lord's temple will be established as the highest peak, drawing people from all nations. They will come to learn, seeking unity and peace. Isaiah's words depict a time when people from various nations will stream to the Lord's house. It's a vision of unity and peace where swords transform into plowshares and spears into pruning hooks. The emphasis is on resolving disputes through divine judgment, fostering a world where nations no longer engage in war. This isn't merely about rebuilding, but rekindling a flame of spiritual renewal and fostering a closer connection with the divine. The biblical passages paint a picture of a future where humanity comes together in pursuit of higher ideals, emphasizing the transformative power of faith and unity. Temple Mount tension. The Temple Mount in Jerusalem has become a hotbed of religious and political tension. Recent efforts to revive ancient rituals have ignited significant controversy. In 2015, the completion of an altar aimed at renewing sacrifices stirred the waters, delving into deep-rooted biblical traditions. By 2017, actual sacrifices near the Temple Mount led to arrests and widespread debate. The contentious atmosphere persisted into 2018, when a Passover sacrifice reenactment at the base of the Temple Mount was allowed, marking a persistent drive towards rebuilding the third temple. Numbers 19, 2-10 outlines the sacrificial ritual involving a red heifer. In recent years, this ancient practice has become a focal point, fueling debates, arrests, and a wider discussion about the role of ancient rituals in the contemporary world. The ritual involving the red heifer with its ashes used for purification rites holds immense significance. It's not merely a religious observance, but a bold statement reflecting the desire to restore a sacred tradition. The act carries weight, symbolizing a longing to reconnect with ancient practices. The Temple Mount isn't just any piece of land. It's where Solomon's temple once stood. Today, it's occupied by Islamic landmarks like the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the third holiest site in Islam. This historical site is deeply contested, with both Jews and Muslims laying claim to its sacredness. The clash over the Temple Mount transcends mere religious differences. It's steeped in history and politics. The competing claims to this sacred ground fuel tensions, that have become integral to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the broader peace process. The struggle over the Temple Mount is not just a footnote in history. It's a live wire sparking ongoing disputes and shaping the future of the region. The question of who will build the third temple introduces another layer of complexity. It goes beyond individual obligations, evolving into a communal aspiration that delicately balances devotion and diplomacy. Even if there were a consensus to rebuild, the overlapping sacredness of the site, it's not just about constructing a physical structure. It involves reconciling centuries of faith, history, and politics. The prospect of rebuilding the third temple extends beyond the physical act of construction for the Jewish community. It represents a profound communal responsibility, deeply interwoven. However, the journey toward its realization is fraught with complexities, navigating the intricate web of religious sentiments, historical narratives, and political dynamics. Various tries at rebuilding the temple. Since the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE, religious Jews have longed for the construction of a third temple on the Temple Mount. This desire is deeply rooted in Jewish tradition and prayer, symbolizing the hope for a soon-to-be-built place of worship. During the Bar Kokhba revolt in 132 CE, there was an initial effort to rebuild the temple after Simon Bar Kokhba's forces captured Jerusalem from the Romans. However, the revolt's failure led to severe repercussions, including the renaming of the city to Aelia Capitolina and strict prohibitions against Jews entering Jerusalem. Roman Emperor Julian, who reigned in the 4th century CE, attempted to rebuild the temple. However, his efforts were thwarted by subterranean fires and earthquakes, which Christian historians interpreted as divine intervention. In 610 CE, the Sassanid Empire briefly gave Jews control of Jerusalem, leading to a restart of animal sacrifices. However, control was soon regained by the Byzantines, who tore down the partially built temple. Following the Muslim conquest of Syria in 630 CE, Arabs expelled Jews who had begun reconstruction of the temple. The site was repurposed for Muslim prayers. Various organizations such as the Temple Institute, the Temple Mount, and the Eretz Israel Faithful Movement advocate for the immediate construction of a third temple. While mainstream Orthodox Judaism typically awaits divine intervention, these groups actively work towards the rebuilding of the temple in present times. The challenges in temple reconstruction, the idea that reconstructing the temple necessitates a substantial Jewish presence in Israel, is widely acknowledged. However, the global Jewish population is currently dispersed, residing in various countries outside Israel. This dispersion raises questions about the prerequisites for initiating such a monumental project. The historical prerequisites for rebuilding the temple introduce layers of complexity. Traditionally, the presence of a Jewish king or prophet has been considered essential. In today's political and religious landscape, these roles don't exist in the same way as they did in ancient times, posing a significant obstacle. Identifying the precise size and dimensions of the third temple is only one aspect. Another challenge emerges concerning who can enter it according to Jewish law. Entry into the temple area is strictly forbidden for those in a state of ritual impurity. The purification method involves the ashes of a red heifer, a rare and mysterious ritual, adding another intricate layer of difficulty to the prospect of temple reconstruction. Some contemplating the challenges of temple reconstruction may turn to prophetic writings for guidance. For instance, the book of Ezekiel presents detailed visions of a future temple, providing inspiration and reflection. These passages ignite the imagination and poignantly remind us of the profound spiritual longing for the temple's restoration. Prophecies of the Messiah's role according to prophecy. The Messiah will play a central role in building the third temple. This monumental event will signify his arrival, marking a pivotal moment in Jewish theology. Testimonies, a significant figure in Jewish philosophy, asserts that the Messiah's actions in constructing the temple will demonstrate his divine mission and his unique ability to discern the lineage and roles of each Israelite. Imagine the scene, the Messiah, guided by the spirit of prophecy, meticulously appointing priests and restoring tribal affiliations. The air is thick with anticipation as the sacred order is reestablished, heralding a new era of spiritual fulfillment. These prophetic insights offer hope and direction, guiding believers through the complexities of faith and awaiting the fulfillment of divine promise. The celestial temple. Now let's shift our focus to another equally captivating aspect. The idea of the temple descending from the heavens fully formed. A divine masterpiece landing on earth. This celestial occurrence would be nothing short of a supernatural spectacle, bridging the human and the divine realms. But what makes this concept even more profound is the use of the red heifer's ashes, as detailed in Numbers 19. This isn't just a ritual, it's viewed as a divine act of purification, preparing everyone for a new holiness era. It's not just about rebuilding, it's about a cosmic renewal, a pure. Amidst these divergent views and interpretations, the core truth remains unshaken. Constructing the third temple is seen as inevitable. It's not a question of if, but when. This journey isn't just about bricks and mortar, it's about fulfilling a destiny centuries in the making. Ezekiel's visions in chapters 40-43 vividly paint a picture of this future temple, a divine blueprint awaiting its moment in the annals of time. So the Messiah's coming and the construction of the third temple aren't distant dreams. They're the culmination of a divine plan, a cosmic event horizon rapidly approaching. Whether the temple descends from the heavens or rises from the earth, its impact will be the same. A world transformed, a new era of peace and divinity. The third temple stands as a beacon of hope, a testament to the enduring strength of faith, and a prelude to the Messianic age. As we await this monumental event, one thing is certain: history is not just being made, it's being fulfilled. So what do you think of the reconstruction of the third temple and the impact or change it will bring into the world? Comment below and subscribe for more such videos.